And one of the important parts of the purchase contract for our buyers is the option period. So I want to explain more in detail what the option period entails. We're going to talk about something in the contract that's very important. So in the contract, there is a portion that deals with the option period. And what the option period is a period of time that we give the seller money for directly. So when we write our option period check, it goes directly to the seller. And we're paying them for them to take it off the market, put it under contract, but we have the option. We're paying for the option to be able to terminate that contract for any reason in a given amount of time. And so I would say most contracts we write have a 10-day option period for $100, which is $10 a day. That's normally what we do. But those terms are completely negotiable. So we may want to give them more option money to make our offer seem stronger. Or, we may want a longer option period, like 14 days, because maybe the house needs work and we want more time for inspections. But the option period is our protection as buyers, which means we can write a contract, we can send it in, we can give them earnest money and option money. But if any reason between the time the option period starts to when it ends, we feel like it's not the right house, maybe there's something wrong with it, we can back out of the contract and we get our earnest money back, no questions asked, within the option period. So a couple of things to note. The day one of the option period happens the day after the contract executes. So we sign a contract, we send it to the seller signs the contract, and say it's Friday the 2nd. Then day one of the option period would be Saturday the 3rd. So the day one of the option period is the day after the contract executes. Now the option period ends at 5 p.m. on the last day of the option period. So it's important that we have all these negotiations done within the option period before that time, because we don't want to come right down to the wire. It tends just not to go well. The seller gets upset, the buyer gets emotional. So we like to try to get the negotiations done as soon as possible. Leaves us plenty of room to come to a decision and agreement before 5 p.m. on the end of the option period. So what do we need to get done during the option period? We need to get our inspections done, right? We need to get a general inspection from a licensed home inspector. And what they're going to do is they're going to go through the entire house, and they're going to go through a ton of things, and they're going to give us most of the time a long report back of a lot of different small things that are wrong with the house, sometimes big things. From there may be certain things on the inspection that we feel we need to get a specialist out for. So maybe the roof needs to get looked at. We want to get a roofer out there to look at it. Maybe the foundation we're worried about. So we want to get a foundation company or an engineer out to look at it. So we start with the home inspection, and then based on what comes back on that, we go out and maybe get some specialists to look at certain things on the house. Now, the other thing is the option period is extendable. So if we are getting inspections done and we're getting close to the end of the option period and we're not feeling comfortable like we have everything we need done, we can ask the seller to extend it, which is pretty normal. So we can ask for a couple more days, for a couple more dollars to extend it. And I think that covers most of what the option period does. It's put in place so we have our time to inspect the property. In some states, it's called an inspection period. Here, we use an option period, and it's a great benefit for buyers. I mean, think about it. You're pretty much just saying, hey, here's $100 to take your property off the market so I can have the option of buying your house. It's so non-committal and non-risky on the buyer's part because of the option period. So if you're not sure on a house, right, if we're looking at a house and you're just not sure, if you think it could be the one, we should write an offer with an option period. Because if we get it under contract and you figure out it's not the one and second thoughts and you don't want to follow through with it, you have 10 days or 7 days or 14 days to make that decision, and you get your earnest money back, and all you've done is thrown out $100 or $140, whatever that is, to have the option to follow through on what may be the house for you. So the option period is a great asset for buyers. It's an awesome tool for you guys, and I just want to make sure you fully understand it. So as always, if you have any questions, shoot me a message. We're here. We'd love to chat.